stand? Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for your blessings to our county. God, we thank you for you watching over us, and we ask that you will just do that today in this meeting. We pray that you will continue to guide and direct. Thank you for keeping our citizens safe. We ask you to continue to do so, and we ask you to bless this meeting, bless the decisions that we make for the county. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll open the meeting, call the meeting to order for agenda business. Do we have anyone for public comment today?
We do, Jennifer Drake.
All right, Jennifer.
Good afternoon, commissioners and all. Can I take this off?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm here representing the Randolph County Housing Authority today. And just to remind everybody what the mission of the Randolph County Housing Authority is, it is to promote strong communities and a healthy quality of life in the 6 rural counties that we serve. So I know there's an agenda item that we're involved with later on, but I wanted to take this moment to speak about some of the programs that we have going, because we want to continue to get the word out. And we are doing a lot here in Randolph County and surrounding counties. So the first is we have a program that people may or may not have heard of, but do you need a laptop or assistance getting internet? We have a program that ends at the end of March that we can assist people with getting a free laptop and installation for internet at their house. So we wanted to make sure everybody knew about that. We also have with a partnership with Highland Community Builders, which I spoke last month or a couple weeks ago, and we've kicked it off, is our homelessness prevention and our homelessness rapid rehousing grant, which is for Randolph County, Barber, Lewis, Tucker, Webster, and Upshur County. And we can help with rent arrears, as well as moving forward rent and utilities, both arrears and moving forward utilities for people experiencing homelessness or those who have been affected by COVID. So we wanted to make sure. And then last week we did our ribbon cutting and our opening of our Learning Center. And so our Learning Center is located at 125 3rd Street. It's in the common door. You enter via Tip Top, and you can go there. And our center is actually open to the public Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have our job coach there. We have internet there available for people, as well as laptops, so they can come in and get some assistance with resume building. They can take any of our work keys tests. They can do job searching. And we also have a calendar of events where we are teaching things like resume building, job searching. We also have a good tenant program that we'll be doing at the end of the month. So it really is a place that we're just asking the community to come down if they want to just enhance their life skills and enhance their ability to be employed. And then we have 3 classes coming up as part of our work program. The first is, we're happy to say, we're kicking off our construction program, which is approximately a 16-week program. And so it's we'll be able to take between 6 to 8 individuals. They will be stipend, so they will get a stipend for this 16-week period. They're going to have hands-on construction work Monday through Thursdays, and then on Fridays they're going to be in the Learning Center getting certifications to help them in the building trades. We also have with Eastern Community College, where right now we are registering people for the medical billing and coding program. So if anybody wants to get into medical billing and coding, we can assist them with getting into that program, laptop, internet, and so forth, to ensure that they can take that program. And then finally, we did have our graduation on Monday for one of our classes at the Get Ready Wood Tech Center, but we also have our next class coming up at the Wood Tech Center. Again, it's a 2-week Get Ready course to get people ready and understanding what wood manufacturing is about. And that course is starts on April 12th. And everything that I've mentioned here is free of charge. There is no cost to any participants to come in and see us to talk about these training programs, and especially to enroll in our construction and our Get Ready program. There is no cost to any individuals. So I just wanted to speak today about this, and so everybody can kind of help spread the word.
All right,
That's
thank
it,
you.
thank you.
Appreciate
Some
it.
awesome things, and I think you got a guy there that can spread the word for us, the paper.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else for public comment?
Nobody on the list?
All right, minutes, for we've got 2 sets of minutes today, so.
I'll move that we approve the minutes as submitted from the regular Randolph County Commission meeting, which was held, February 18th of 2021.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the minutes of the meeting as presented for our regular meeting on the 18th of February as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes from the special session that we had on the second day of February 2021.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the minutes of the special session of the, this is actually the minutes of all the Board of Equalization meetings. So this would be, it started the second day of February, and it goes all throughout the month of February. So we're approving the minutes for the Board of Equalization meetings that were held here at the courthouse. Is there any discussion? Any, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, reports. Kurt, do you have anything?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We did hire our 15 paramedics, so we are full staffed at 31 full-time staff now. All 3 stations are open, no issues with any of them. 1 out of 12 ambulances we have crashed right now. We're trying to get parts. That's interesting. But past that, no report.
All right, thanks, sir. All right, Sheriff?
Just a couple little things. We've moved forward with the, working toward, getting a canine dog for the county. It'll be a dual purpose track dog, drug dog. School starts March 15th. We have a deputy going to that training. He will then mate with an animal. They'll see who's compatible with what animal and how they take to each other, and then they'll basically do the training with the dog. And we're hoping to have the animal back in Randolph County in early April to start some interdiction around the county. So
Can you say who the deputy is?
Deputy TJ Knotts. Yeah, he's going to be the trainer for this animal, and he's energized. He's excited about it, and we just hope the dog likes him.
Where they have to train, where's the training at?
The training is just south of Cleveland, Ohio. He'll go up there, and he's going to go the day before. All the money involved in this, it looks like Deputy Sheriff's, Randolph County Deputy Sheriff's Association is picking up that bill, and they're excited, and they're out working that and talking to people the way I understand it. And the dog is with the training, and this includes housing for the trainer. Everything's included in the price. It's just shy of $18,000, and then of course the vehicle's going to have to be fitted for special needs with that for the animal. And the equipment we're looking at has safeguards built in, so if the vehicle gets too warm inside, it rolls windows down, and then if the next step, if it drops it, or the temperature goes another degree, it will flash the lights and siren on the vehicle, and it'll call 911 so that this animal is not at any time put into a situation that it could perish. And there'll be a fob on the deputy's key ring, so if he's out and he gets in trouble, he can hit that fob and that door will release and let that animal out to assist him if he's down. So we're excited. We think it's going to be a great asset to the county, and the whole department's excited about it.
Good.
Yep, sounds great.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Brenda?
No report.
All right. Anyone else? Okay. Correspondence. Yeah, we have, received from the West Virginia 211 system, sent us over just a reminder. They sent some stats over as to how the program has worked and what the calls are for. If you're not familiar with the 211 system, it's basically a clearinghouse for information for anyone in the state of West Virginia who needs any request for assistance at all. For example, this past year, 34% of their phone calls were requesting utility assistance. 14% of their calls were about food insecurity. 3% of the calls were about rent and mortgage assistance. And then 3% of their calls were about COVID information. In addition to that, they answered questions about temporary financial assistance, holiday programs, food stamps, SNAP benefits, domestic violence, transportation, childcare. So literally, they serve a lot of different needs for citizens. And the demographics of who's using the program, it's actually used more by citizens between the ages of 35 and 54 than any other age group, which I thought was fascinating. And from this, the United Way, they're able to refer individuals to different agencies, and they're able to help with getting people connected to any counseling or help that they might need. So if anyone is in need of any assistance at all, 211 on their phone will connect into this service, and we'll be able to give them the help that they need. So we're excited about this. This has been going on now for a few years, and it's getting more and more people are using it every day. So we want to just make you all aware of that. All right, any other correspondence? Okay, announcements. Our next meeting will be the 18th of March here at 1:30 at the annex. Any other announcements?
What time is that meeting?
1:30.
All right, just checking.
1:30 in the afternoon. So, any other announcements? Okay, items for discussion and action. First of all, we have an informational presentation from Elkins Main Street. So we have Madeline Humphrey, the executive director, here with us today. So, Madeline, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to take up 10 minutes. So good afternoon, and thank you for having me here today. I'd like to begin by thanking the commissioners and Randolph County Commission for your continued support for Elkins Main Street and downtown and all that we're able to do. We have an incredible environment in our downtown with business and employment and people and so much more coming up. When I was at the ribbon cutting just last week, it was so exciting to see something new, a ribbon cut in 2021 when there were so many disappointments in 2020. So I'm here today to talk a little bit about what we've been doing and what we're looking forward to. So again, this collaboration between Elkins Main Street and the Commission has benefited our city and county with programs that support our businesses, create a healthy environment, engage our citizens, and encourage tourism year-round. During 2020, like I said, there were a lot of disappointments, but we kept working. We ended up going more one-on-one since we weren't able to see everyone together. Events weren't able to happen, but our businesses needed that support. So we were able to connect services through our businesses. One thing that we didn't realize was how many of our Google listings were not correct, and so we worked with the businesses to get those updated. It made a big difference because so many people rely on your phone to see who is open and when. So that was one thing that we changed, and we continued our mission to support a healthy and vibrant community. Our office location move at the end of last year to the Wood Technology Center has created a lot of energy and connection and strengthening within our partnerships. Being at the Wood Technology Center, to be able to connect with the Chamber, such as Lisa Wood, the director of the Chamber, who's here today in support of Main Street, as a board member and the director of the Chamber. We're also able to connect with the Development Authority and tourism and everyone who goes through that door or communicates, which allows us to look at some different opportunities that we didn't in the past. One thing that I'm very excited about is the GIS platform on the Randolph County Development Authority's website so that we can better market our commercial properties that are available. We have these rich amazing historic properties in our downtown that are available for the next step. So making sure that we have good pictures, we have the capture of what they are. For one building in particular, we made it from a small for sale sign in the window to an entire listing online. So that was really exciting to see that collaboration, to see the product of what is going on in that building. Again, there's so much that happened last year with the Christmas light display contest and supporting those efforts, small business support and referrals. But the biggest thing is having the flexibility to see what projects are coming up and coming to light and seeing how we can work together more collaboratively. And that's what I'm very excited to see in our community. I'm very proud of to be an Elkinite, as well as a director of such a wonderful nonprofit. So looking into the next year in terms of the momentum that happened in 2020, we at Main Street look at a 4-point approach that's connected to the national Main Street: design, promotion, organization, and economic vitality. Organization is, the biggest thing is just the organization of Elkins Main Street. But design is all about the tangible things, what's going on downtown, the streetscape view. So through the streetscape vision, we've been working with the city to get street furnishings that would look attractive in our downtown. We're working with them at the exact placement and how it coordinates with the trees, the poles, the businesses. And so now that the weather is nice, I think we will continue we'll be able to see those street furnishings that were purchased last year. So we're excited this summer to be able to enjoy new trash bins and benches and bike bollards that we're working with the street department to place in the coming months. So continuing that streetscape vision to update our downtown. In terms of some of the visual things, this last summer we also worked with the Mon Towns Initiative, and I worked with Tara and Elkins Randolph County Tourism on some of the signage that'll be going up, but also coordinating with the West Virginia Division of Highways and Jamie Rossi, so we can look at the specific placement, not only how do we bring people in, but what's possible in Randolph Avenue. So I'm very excited about that effort as we move forward with it. Not only the design, the look of signs, but the placement along Randolph Avenue, because Randolph Avenue is so important, and it also is that first introduction into downtown. So then along with design, I am now a commissioner on the Elkins Historic Landmarks Commission, and that really helps us look more at our historic buildings. We're a designated historic district, downtown district, and then there's the expansion of the Graham Davis district. So there's a lot of opportunity, not only in celebrating our historic structures and landmarks, but connecting with property owners about tax credits that are available so that they can support their buildings and make improvements and keep the integrity of the historic structures. So my appointment on the Landmarks Commission, I'm excited to see where that goes, and to see what other opportunities we're able to connect with Main Street, landmarks, and our neighborhoods and historic properties in the future. The Hubcap program has also driven a lot of excitement in terms of advancing public art in our community. So in the coming weeks, we'll have more to announce, but right now we are working with a group of arts stakeholders in the area to define those arts projects that we can advance. We're also defining those grant opportunities that would connect to those art opportunities. So I'll have more to report next time. Economic Vitality Collaborative, that has all been about that small business support this year, as well as positioning ourselves to look at the assets that we have and market our community for the future. So the Opportunity Tours is a program through the Hubcap community that you'll also be hearing more about in the coming year, that connects back to supporting our properties that are available for opportunities in the future, looking at what design concepts do we want to see in downtown. So I look forward to updating you on that too. In your letter, you'll find some investments that we were able to track in this last year. You can see that although we had a difficult 2020, building sales, new construction, building rehab continued in our downtown. And your continued support in Elkins Main Street in the downtown supports that continuation for all. In 2021, for design, promotion, and economic vitality, we of course plan to continue the efforts that we're already doing, expand them, enhance them, and also be in tune with what's going on in the community. We have a meeting next week where we'll be looking at, okay, where are we in terms of health guidelines and the state, so that we can look at connecting the community to the downtown. So we are, in communication with Bonnie Woodrum, of course, about events, but at this time, we are still evaluating those. I do want to make note of that. So I really appreciate everything that the County Commission does to support Elkins Main Street. And, we're so excited to be in a community and work in a community that's so vibrant and continues to be. Do you have any questions?
Probably one of the areas that you are most visible is your First Friday events. And I know that was a significant challenge for you all last year, and I'm sure it's the same going into this year. Have you all had discussions about First Friday events and what you're gonna be able to maybe do this year?
We absolutely have. And one thing we talked about with First Friday events is looking at every Friday, not only just that First Friday. But rather than spending the energy to close down a street, to work with the businesses to look at what we call passive events, instead of focusing on just 2 hours, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, what can we do over a span of 2 to 3 days or the whole Friday? So that meeting next week with promotion, which you're absolutely invited to come. I'd love to hear your input. We'll discuss more, especially as some of those guidelines have been lifted. But we do want to focus on how can we support the businesses, and whatever time the First Friday would be when our small businesses would be open, of course, and being in those places. So.
Over the years, you guys have put on some really, really good events for First Friday, so you're hoping to be able to get back to some normalcy sooner rather than later. So.
Absolutely. Well, there's so much to celebrate, and whether it's local musicians or art, and we always had so much fun doing that during that time. So we're looking at how can we do that in a new way.
Okay. Any other questions? No. All right. Thank you, Madeline. All right, next item on the agenda is informational presentation from NECO. NECO is a foster parent organization that's new in our community, and their recruiting organizer had a conflict, so we're gonna have to put her back on the agenda for a future meeting. But really excited to hear about that program, and she's made a couple presentations with other county commissions. So, all right, the next item on the agenda is consider quote from Digital Soup for security camera replacement. All right, we probably in the last 6 to 9 months have lost all of our cameras in this building. We've lost some over in the courthouse, and so we knew that we needed to get our coverage back. What had happened was apparently when the server died, and so we reached out to the Digital Soup because they are the ones that have done our camera systems in other parts of our complex. They're the ones that did the ones across the street at the magistrates. They've also done some on the outside of this building. And so the key is we have to make sure that these integrate with one another. If they're not able to communicate, what we were having was we had one system that was on one platform that was viewed by basically our office that covered most of the cameras here, but the court security officers were hampered in being able to view those. And so by doing an upgrade to the system, we bring the cameras back to life again, replace cameras that are outdated, and then we also have the ability to take those, put them in the platform that we currently have so that they can be monitored by our court security officers. So if there's any problems throughout this building, The few, the few others we have over at the courthouse, they will integrate with the current cameras we have in the magistrate's office and the courthouse. So, we have received an estimate from them, to replace, 15 cameras, and also provide 2 Wi-Fi, iPads that, court security officers will be able to carry with them. And the, total amount of that estimate is $9,951.87. So this time I'll entertain a motion that we, approve this proposal.
I know there's something too, the sheriff's gonna push him too. He took over to get upgraded, so.
Well, right now, it would love your input, as far as, we just don't have any camera coverage inside this building now, right?
That's correct. If someone was to fall down in the hallway outside, you couldn't say they did or they didn't, cause there's no way to show what happened, at all. So it's gonna bring everything up where our officers, our court security can, watch the cameras and if there's an issue or something that happens here, they'll be here in just a second or whatever. And if you need to go back to look at it for insurance purposes or whatever, you're gonna have that covered.
Just part of our program too, we're trying to get things more updated, like for the buildings that we have here, so.
Get it integrated, what we had is we've had systems all over the place, and, with this one dying, it's presented an opportunity for us to be able to integrate all of our programs on the same platform, so we'd be easily viewed.
Mr. Martin was, put those 2 iPads in the bid. Of course, we have 4 full-time court security officers now and 2 part-times. And, so in my new budget, I've allowed for 4 more of those so that every officer, if they're working, has an iPad to view the camera systems and to make sure if there's something that happens that everybody has eyes on and can see what's going on and note, and they can talk via their radios to how to handle the situation they have.
Now, one good thing, the wires are already there for most cameras, so that's gonna save some time and money on that part.
Well, I'll tell you, when we did, when we changed out the magistrate's office back in 2017, I believe it was, to do 16 cameras over there, because it all had to be rewired and everything, new, recorders, the whole works, it was, I think, $30,000 was the cost of that, so, this is significantly lower.
All right, so I make a motion that we accept the quote from Digital Soup LLC for the camera upgrade, in the amount of $9,951.87.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the quote from Digital Soup to have the work done to replace the cameras in the courthouse annex and some of the courthouse for amount $9,951.87. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is consider approval for quote for updates to the county clerk's office.
Hopes and dreams.
All right, as you all know, we've been doing, some upgrades in the office space, for the clerk's office. We
Some
began.
much needed
Yeah.
updates.
We began with the area in the front as you walk into her office, everything to the left-hand side, which is the old records room, and the area behind that was in need of some repair. And so, we did that one. Then, we went to the area, behind her office where the restrooms are. They've got some record rooms and things. And so, as a result of doing that work, the contractor, when they pulled the drop ceiling down, realized that the walls did not go all the way to the ceiling as they need to. And so, we've got an estimate here from Hopes and Dreams, which is the current contractor, to build a wall, to extend to the ceiling, to install drywall from roof to ceiling, on 2 walls, install trim on the ceiling to, hide wires to the lighting, and then, strip windows, in the office, and the doors and the door frames. So you can imagine that's been quite a chore, or will be quite a chore with, 100+ years worth of stuff. So, the amount of this, is $2,475.48. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept that.
So we're taking down the drop ceilings and trying to restore it to that original look, that high ceiling look. So that's why in that one office, it was a big office, which they years ago converted into 2 offices, whatever, so that wall didn't go all the way up when we discovered, when we took down the drop ceiling, that's why, now in that room, it looks like it's original, it was original, so.
Yeah,
It's
Joe's
coming
got
along.
the long, high ceilings in it, I mean, it looks really, really nice.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, and it just, like I said, it was the 1970s was there, so it was paneling and everything, so now it's back to almost the original, the way that it looked before, so, really excited. So I make a motion that we accept the proposal from Hopes and Dreams for the continued work in the county clerk's office in the amount of $2,475.48.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the contract for Hopes and Dreams Construction for, continued work in the courthouse in the amount of $2,475.48. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next is consider signing contract for remodeling of the old 911 center. All right, the old 911 center has been empty since, the end of, when the old 911, or when the 911 center moved to its new location. And so, we have been in discussions pretty much ever since. We talked with the former sheriff, we've had extensive discussions with the new sheriff, as well as with our, assessor. There's a significant need for the assessor to have additional office space that's close to her. She's got 3, appraisers crammed in one office back here, and it's not very conducive. And, we've also talked with the sheriff, and there's a law enforcement division that needs to be moved from its current location. And so, we had asked, for an estimate for that work to be done. And we have an estimate from Hopes and Dreams Construction to do the remodeling work that's necessary in the old 911 center, to move that law enforcement division, and then to remodel the front area for potentially moving the commission offices over there. So that will allow space for Phyllis to be able to have her office space as well. So
Is that space for the drug task force in the back, or?
yes, that would be what would be located in that area. That currently they're off campus, and it would just
Okay.
make it easier for everything
Oh,
to
I
be together.
understand.
All right. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion for.
Okay, I move that we accept the, contract with Hopes and Dreams Construction for the old 911 building remodeling, and the amount of this contract being $7,544.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the, contract with Hopes and Dreams Construction to remodel the old 911 center. And, they'll be removing wiring that's in there. They'll build an armory in the back, install drywall, remove the old brackets, everything that was associated with the old 911 center, patch the drywall, paint all of the offices inside, and the amount of that is $7,544. Is there any discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item for consideration is consider approval of labor and materials for RTU in the sheriff's office.
And we're fixing this not for you, but for the people in your office. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I believe that's-
That's it.
Yeah. What we have is, there is an air conditioning unit on the rooftop that provides, air to the offices that has, been destroyed, basically. We don't know exactly what happened, we don't know if it actually imploded from within, but the condenser unit and coil is completely, there's a hole in it. And so, we had reached out to the company that provides our, services, our, maintenance contract, Casto Technical Services, about the cost of replacing this. And, so, the cost to replace the left side condenser coil, refrigerant dryer, and refrigerant for that RTU unit is $7,936.20. So this time I entertain a motion to accept that proposal.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Casco Technical Services in the amount of $7,936.20 to fix the RT unit above the sheriff's office.
All right, motion on the floor is to accept the, bid from Casto Technical Services in the amount of $7,936.20 to replace that, condenser unit in the RTU2, carrier air conditioning. Is there any discussion? I'd like to mention, since we signed on with Casto, probably about a year and a half ago, guys, something like that.
Roughly, yeah.
And we are extremely pleased at the work that they've done. They've gone through and found a lot of issues that we've had, and one by one, we've been able to address these. They discovered this, earlier in the year, and because it was the air conditioning unit, we didn't need to really, we could put it off for a little while, but now it's gonna start getting warm before we know it, so, this is a good time to take care of this, so. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. All right, next item on the agenda is consider purchase of online fire tax collection software. All right. Chris, do you wanna speak to this?
Yeah, sure. This is something that the fire board has been kicking around now for about a year. Right now, you cannot pay your fire fees with a debit card or credit card. And fire board's been discussing, and I think Letitia sort of looked up some figures, and the way she talks, it should pay for itself, pay for this and then some. With people, they can take a credit card or a debit card once they get all the software ready. So like I said, fire boards talk about it, and they don't have any problem. The money's gonna come out of fire fee to pay for it. But they think in the long run, it'll pay off.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I guess sometimes, if folks can't pay over the phone by credit card or debit card, they're just not paying.
They just won't pay it.
And, having that as an option, we can do that with all our other taxes now, and having that as an option, certainly sounds like it would be.
And thanks to Sheriff, letting them go through the office and do that too, actually helps too also.
I think it's a good idea because of the COVID, people don't have to come in here if they don't want to.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just think it's gonna be better, easier, and I think the collection will be better.
Yeah, like Mark said, they can't get here and they won't take a credit card if they forget it, and not paying it.
Right, exactly. So, this time I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the purchase of the online fire tax collection for the software for the collection of fire taxes.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the contract with Software Systems for the online fire tax collection software system. The amount of that's $5,000, and then beginning year two, it's a $250 a year maintenance on, which is pretty
Just
good.
getting started,
Yeah,
big
big expenses getting it started. So,
And paying out tax.
paid out of fire fee.
all right. So the motion on the floor is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of revised contract for pool splash pad project. David, you want to speak to this?
Oh, yes, certainly. All right, so we, go ahead and talk about how we did changing the.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So we were looking at applying for a grant of $500,000, correct?
Yes.
And we were gonna match, the county was gonna match that. So it was gonna be like $1 million project to redo the Elks Pool and add a splash pad. Well, we ran into, at the last minute, before we were ready to file for the grant, it had to be where the county,
We had to operate.
we had to operate the
Yeah.
pool. And that's something that we said all along that we weren't interested in doing, was operating the pool.
And by the way, we were told early on in the process that this would not be a problem with
Because
this grant.
we explained exactly what we were going to do, which was we were gonna rehab it and let the Elks run the pool, right? Well, when it came down to it, that we couldn't apply for that grant. So we're switching gears and we're going after other grants. Peggy's already working on that, but we revised now to where we're still gonna do the revision of the Elks Pool, we're gonna do it in phases. We're gonna do, the first phase will be to redo the pool, the second phase would be to add a splash pad. So we can't do all we want at once, so we're gonna break it up. So the first thing is to get that Elks Pool redone and reopened back up. So we went back to, who was it?
E.L. Robinson.
Yeah, E.L. Robinson Engineering to redesign, tell them, okay, instead of doing one big project, this is what we wanna do. So they're still gonna design it, but we're just gonna do it in phases. All right, so that's what we're looking at today. And I also wanna talk that, if you put it in the paper, that we're going to, I wanna start a fundraising, because we were going to do that all along, was having a fundraising committee group, formed to start raising funds for this, project as well. And so I'll be doing that here soon and looking for volunteers, to help with that as well, to get that started.
Yeah, what you'd like to do is get some help donations from individuals.
Oh, we're gonna
businesses
challenge.
In the county.
I like to challenge 100 businesses, if we get 100 businesses in this county to give $1,000, there's $100,000 right there. Now, I got 2 businesses that will gladly be the first ones to step up and to donate $1,000 from each group to start that off. Because it's a worthwhile project, something we would desperately need for the county to have the kids, somewhere to go in the summertime. Instead of going to other counties, we keep that money in our county. So, I wanna get the fundraising thing going, get $100,000, get this project going. We just couldn't we wanted to go for the pie in the sky, but we're gonna have to back it up and go in phases. So phase 1 is to redo the Elks Pool, phase 2 is the splash pad.
Well, and also, renegotiating this contract, which is a significant savings, it's about $44,000 less for the engineering services through E.L. Robinson than what we were initially looking at. Initial cost was about $120,000, this is $76,000, I believe. And the initial estimates that we received before engaging the engineering services said that we could potentially get the pool and splash pad done for significantly less than $1 million. Now, we may not have all the bells and whistles that a $1 million project could have, but we can get this moving for significantly less. And so by backing away from this grant, it gives us the opportunity to have more say-so in how the pool is operated. And in addition to that, it allows us to have a little more say in the size of the splash pad and how much we do with other facilities around there. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the revised grant application with the E.L. Robinson, or not grant application.
Contract,
with the
yeah, I make a motion that we approve the revised contract with E.L. Robinson Engineering Company, for our pool and splash pad project.
Okay, motion on the floor is to approve the revision of the contract with E.L. Robinson, the amount of that contract $76,600 for design services for the pool and splash pad project. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And I will reiterate that we went through what's called a 4G process in order to engage E.L. Robinson. So we interviewed anyone who had given us an estimate to do this project, and we were extremely impressed with E.L. Robinson. Look forward to this partnership. So I'm excited to get this thing started. All right, next item on the agenda is consider purchase of body armor for the Sheriff's Department. All right, Sheriff, would you like to speak to this?
Yeah, I approached you guys, after I took office. It was brought to my attention that, several of my, law enforcement officers and basically all of my court security officers, their body armor was outdated. They each have a 5-year life. There's an expiration date, inside of those, or production dates, and they are good for 5 years, and then you need to replace them. So, we got some quotes and, brought them into you guys, and we would like to see if you would, go ahead and fund that project and, take care of those vests. I believe there's 8 law enforcement units, that need them. That's about half of the law enforcement staff at this point, deputies, and then, 6 court security staff.
Okay, all right, and we had asked, your chief deputy to get us an estimate, from a couple of companies, which he was kind enough to do. And, we received estimates from, Lawman Supply Company, and also, from, 1042 Tactical LLC. And the price for the Lawman Supply Company, for one of them was $19 less a vest, but for the other one, it was $125 less per vest, with Lawman. So, at this time, I'll entertain a motion that we accept the estimates from, Lawman Supply Company to provide replacement vests for the, deputies and court security officers.
All right, I'll gladly make the motion that we accept the Lawman, the quote from the Lawman Supply Company for the, purchase of the body armor for the sheriff's department.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the estimate from Lawman Supply Company for replacement body armor. Those funds can be taken from the COVID, funding that we've received. The amount for the vest for the deputies would be $7,920, and the amount for the, court security officers would be $3,125. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Well, thank you guys for that, appreciate it.
Absolutely. We wanna make sure that,
Try to
God
keep it
forbid,
safe-
something happened,
Keep it safe as possible.
something happened and, you know, it failed because it's out of date, that, you know, wouldn't be able to sleep, so.
Yeah, there's an expiration date for a reason, and I haven't, I didn't do a lot of research on it, but it's there for a reason, so we appreciate it. And thank you.
Absolutely, glad we can help. All right. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of CDBG grant agreement. Jennifer had mentioned earlier in her, comments to us during public comment that, there was an agenda item that would come before the committee, and, this is it. And, we have received, approval from the West Virginia Development Office, for a grant of $172,450, to provide assistance for people that are directly affected by COVID. So, I know that we've spoken about this before, but Jennifer, would you like to add any comments to what we're doing here? Yeah, we put together.
Yeah, this is a standard grant agreement with the state.
Yeah, we had a presentation about it before,
Yeah.
it talked about the budget and what the money would be used for, but, we've actually received from the, development office that we have been awarded this grant, and so, this today is voting to approve the signature on all the grant required documents from the county commission, all right? So this time I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I move that we approve the signing for the approval of the CDBG grant agreement in the amount of $172,000.
Yes, sir. The great thing about this is not a matching grant, this is a 100% grant, and so there's no match. And this,
Those are the good ones.
yes, and this grant will be, administered by the housing authority, and, they'll have staff there that will be doing this program, so, very grateful that we would be able to help those that are affected by COVID with, you know, whatever assistance they would need as far as housing, so. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, last, item on the agenda is consider approval for RFP for county roadside project. As, you all know, several years back, Randolph County, had, the 911, addressing and mapping project that was, completed. And as a result, a lot of our roads have been changed. And, we have received complaints from citizens that, companies are not able to find them to do deliveries. We've heard from first responders that, it's difficult, especially at night, to be able to find road names. And so, this is a RFP that will be put out for, the installation of approximately 1,500 road signs throughout the county. This would, rename any roads that have been changed. Roads that aren't named will have signs that are naming them. This, RFP will be for the cost of materials, will be at the cost for labor only. The materials will be supplied. We've got, vendors that will be able to help us, to make the signs, and then also to, we'll be able to buy the post through the DOH. And so this is a, request for proposal from, anyone who's interested in doing this for the cost of labor. And, we will be, receiving bids. We will have a pre-bid meeting on the 31st of March, and bids will be opened at a regular county commission meeting on April 15th at 1:30. So, at this time, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the, RFP for advertisement.
Okay, I move that we approve the RFP for county road sign project. Good prices from anybody that is interested in going the project.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the RFP for the road sign project for the, 911. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, actually, we got it turned into the post office, I think, probably 9-10 years ago, so it's been a long time, long process.
Well,
We can do the sign part.
Well, in the past, we've looked at allocating funds to do a project like this. The toughest part is, who do you use and how do you go about it? And so, thanks to Brooke in our office, she's done a lot of research to make sure we can
And that's
find
probably
someone.
the best way to do it right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, final settlements and annual accountings.
Moving right along, right?
Make a motion that we approve the 8 final settlements as presented.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the 8 final settlements as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, budget revisions.
I don't think, I'm having, did we, Brooke?
Can we,
No, I need that expenditure line still to do that one.
okay, so
No.
it's not prepared yet, okay. All right, let's see, division of properties, erroneous assessments.
Make a motion that we approve the 7, provision of property and erroneous assessments.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the 7 erroneous assessments as submitted. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, distressed properties,
You need money?
what's that?
You need money?
We've got several.
I was asking, do you need
We
money for this?
haven't got this prepared yet, no money.
No, they haven't been through the meeting yet. The
Okay,
enforcement
all right, that's
agency.
great, that's great, yes, so they'll come next time, all right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Keeping them straight.
Yep, all right, fire fee adjustments, do we have any fire fee adjustments?
Only.
2,000.
Looks like I'll move that we approve the 65 fire fee adjustments as submitted.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve 65 fire fee adjustments as submitted, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, payment of the bills.
Ta-da!